Today we're gonna be fishing with an expensive spinning reel and a cheap spinning reel. What do you mean it broke? That's a fish. Come on, oh, he feels big. Oh my gosh, we have a monster on. We have a monster on. Oh my gosh. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're out here, and today we're at a little private neighborhood pond. We're about to do some fishing, but we're not just gonna do any fishing. We have two spinning setups with us, one being expensive, one being cheap, and today we're gonna go and test them out and see which one's better, how they perform, put them one-on-one. And we got George back here and we got me, and we're gonna do a little 1v1, just friendly, and mess around with some spinning reels, because why not? We have a little overcast day. It honestly looks really good. The water's pretty clear. I think the fish are gonna be pretty active, but we're wearing some of the new Guggen fall apparel. It actually just dropped, so if you guys want to check it out and go pick up some stuff, there will be a link down below in the description. Honestly, some of my favorite stuff, and I mean, can't beat some camo in the fall. And there's a ton of cool stuff. So if you guys want to check it out, you also can use Logan at checkout and save 10% off of your purchase. And there's a little truck giveaway, so every $5 you spend, you get an entry to win a brand new truck. So let's go ahead, let me show you guys what spinning reels we're rocking today. We're gonna tie up some lures and catch some fish.
So my setup today is an $80 Daiwa setup. It came with a reel and rod, so pretty budget friendly, and it's not that bad. I've used it a lot. I've caught a bunch of fish on it, still holding up, so should be good.
I'm gonna be starting with expensive. We're both gonna tie up the same exact lure, and then halfway through the challenge, we're gonna swap, so we both can get our opinions and our thoughts on what we're using and how they are for the price. But I'm gonna be using a little Guggen Black Series spinning rod, which is $300, and the Guggen Gold spinning reel, which I think is $160. But yeah, a pretty expensive setup. It's not a combo. It matches very well, but you have to buy these separate and put them together. So this is kind of like a build your own combo. George's combo comes in, like if you were to walk in a store and all the setups are right there, it's like a full-on combo. You buy it, it's ready to go. This one, you have to build yourself. And we're both gonna throw the same lure and just see who can catch more fish, and just put them to the test, get our thoughts on each one. And yeah, expensive versus cheap challenge starting right now. All right, right here we have both of our spinning setups. We have the expensive and the cheap. We're gonna see which one is better. And here you go, George, here is your setup. And I'm gonna work with the expensive. And we're just gonna kind of catch fish and see what happens, and then we're gonna swap halfway through. So, with this being an expensive rod, it is super light. So, it's pretty light, it's really sensitive, has good filling. I've used this one, I haven't used the cheap one over there. So it's gonna be interesting to see what that one's like.
All right, we're getting started right here. Honestly, the setup is not, it's really worth it for $80. It looks good, nice, clean. All right, we're gonna move down here toward Logan. He caught a 7 last time we were fishing out here on this exact bait.
So now, while I was holding George's, it was kind of like, you can kind of feel a difference in material. This one has a real slick design. It's super light. It just feels kind of more, it definitely feels more expensive. It doesn't feel like a bad setup, the cheap one, but I mean, I guess we'll have to find out. But we're both throwing the exact same lures. We're throwing a tightrope jig with a little bandito bug on the back. We're gonna see how many fish we can catch today, and then we're gonna swap. So I'm gonna use the expensive to start off with, and then George is gonna use the cheap. Here's the expensive one. Hold it in the same exact hand and just feel the difference between them, and tell me what you think.
That's really smooth, actually. It's really smooth. I like the grips on it.
Yeah, the grips are my favorite part.
Makes a little bit of noise, but it's all right. Nah, this is just like, feels a little bit cheaper. The handles aren't as good. It's not as like comfortable to hold, but it's pretty decent for the price.
This one, mine feels a little bit more sensitive because that's what these black rods are supposed to be like. But overall, they both feel like a spinning setup. This one does feel a little bit cheaper, not by much, Yeah. You kind of just find out during the fishing, but at just holding them, you can kind of tell a difference. All right, good luck. We'll swap in a little bit. See, the good thing about fishing is, you have different options. You have expensive, you have cheap, and then you have maybe like the intermediate. And as long as they work, you're pretty much set. I mean, if you can use a spinning rod and it's functional and it feels good and it catches fish, that's really all that matters. But then it comes down to personal preference and just kind of how you like to fish. So This one's super light. It feels really good. It's super smooth. I love this setup. And I guess I'm gonna have to figure out how the cheap one does later, but we have the same lure on, so it's pretty fair. We're gonna see what happens. Do you know if there's a warranty on that rod?
Honestly, I don't think so. I got it from a cabinet.
I know that the Guggen ones have a 3-year warranty on them, so.
I don't know.
I don't know if every rod has warranties on them, but I know that these ones do. Which, I mean, is good because if you break it, you wanna get the warranty on it, especially since you're paying so much. But then again, they're also probably built to last longer. I love the way this thing casts though. Feels really nice. I'm a big believer in you get what you pay for. Yeah, one thing I absolutely love about the Guggen rod is just like the shape of the grips. They like perfectly fit your hand no matter how you hold it. And this rod just feels really smooth and just, I don't even know what word I'm trying to describe, but it just feels, I guess, sturdy, expensive. I don't know. It feels good though. And then, you know, it has the little grip down here on the reel, and the line has like a backing grip too. So it's a sick little setup, and it just looks good. So oh, I have a fish. Oh, I just had a fish. Dang it. He interrupted my thought and then I missed him. That's a fish. I'm on. Oh, he feels big. He's big, George. He is huge. He's huge. He's huge. He is literally huge. I'm not kidding, dude. He's barely moving. He is barely moving. Oh my gosh, that's a giant. That's a giant. That's a giant. That is a giant. That is a giant.
Why? Every time we come fish,
don't jump. Don't jump. Don't jump. Don't jump. Don't jump. Don't jump. Oh my gosh, that thing's huge. And I brought a scale this time.
Calm down. That one. Bite him right here. Just bite him.
Oh my gosh, we have a monster on. We have a monster on. Bro, when I set the hook, he didn't move. That's how big it is.
It was a log. I'm not even gonna lie.
Dude, I did too. He didn't move.
I got the sleeves rolled up.
Oh my gosh, it's a giant. It's a giant. Stay down, buddy. Stay down.
Dude, there's soul in it, man.
Oh gosh.
This is why you fight this.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. No, don't jump. Don't jump. Don't jump. Dude, that is a giant. Yeah, it might be a 5-pounder. He feels huge on this setup though. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, he's huge. Oh my gosh, George, that might be bigger than 5.
Oh, I'm gonna go land him now. Enough of the clips, let's land him. That's 6. He swallowed it, buddy.
Oh my gosh, that's a giant. Coming to you.
Oh crap.
All right, he's stuck there. Oh my gosh.
That thing's huge.
Oh my gosh. What the heck?
I'm about to fall in.
I got you, I got you.
Oh, that's bigger than the last one. That's
oh my gosh.
That's 7 or 8 pounds, bro.
What the heck? That's huge.
That's
I got a
7 or
scale.
8, bro.
Oh my gosh.
Holy crap.
Look at that tightrope jig in there.
These tightrope jigs,
Look at the tightrope jig in there. First fish of the day on the tightrope. Look at that thing. Oh my gosh. All right, so we have our monster. Oh shoot. I'm shaking, bro.
About 7.
We'll say 7. Oh yeah, I went to 7. We'll reweigh it in a second.
Yeah. That fish is fat.
Oh my gosh. The tightrope jig is dirty out here. Look at the mouth on this fish. That is an absolute stud of a fish.
Logan, we got an intruder over here.
Hey man, get out of here. I can't believe it. That is crazy. First fish, absolute stud. I mean, look how fat that thing is. That is absolutely crazy. We're gonna get a few pictures, put it back, catch a few more. All right, buddy, get out of here.
That fish could eat that duck, bro.
Well, I wasn't expecting that to be our first fish. That's absolute crazy. Basically a 7-pounder. But check out how big this fish is, like wide it is. Look at my hand on its body. That is absolutely insane. I mean, just look at the dimensions of that fish. It looks huge. We're about to get her back. Thank you, big girlie. We appreciate you. First fish of the day. Can't really beat it.
In the new car.
Woo! Well, I was not expecting that. We just caught a 7 on the tightrope jig. This is my second fish out here that has been that size. I haven't caught anything big out here in this pond since I started fishing it. And then like the past 2 or 3 times I've come, I've pulled out like 2 fish that have been like 7 pounds on the same lure. And I mean, it's just kind of crazy. That fish was huge. It was fat. It was wide. There's some hidden giants in here. You just got to find them. And well, 1 fish on the board for the expensive combo. And I'm sure George is going to get on a few in a little bit because they are eating the jig. That is for sure. Let's go ahead. Let's keep casting. See if we can't catch a few more. And this right here is what did it. The old tightrope jig, little green pumpkin bandito bug on the back. I think this is a little blue baby color or something. It's got green, a little bit of turquoise blue in there. And this has been catching all my big fish recently. The cold water, this bait is killer. But that whole entire fight, we had a good hook set. The drag was really nice. You can just kind of adjust this thing. It pulls real good. And you know, the rod was kind of the main player. It is the most expensive thing of this setup. And that is because of reason. This is like a high quality flagship rod. It's meant to be expensive and it's meant to be the best of the best. So that's why it has those Fuji guides, and the tip is just really sensitive. You can feel a lot of those bites. And I felt that fish eat it, and then I set the hook and it didn't move. And I was like, oh, is that a tree? And then I could feel the head shakes of that fish. And that's the second fish around 7 pounds I've fought on this setup. And it's pulled them in, it's felt good. It really lets you enjoy the fight. And this thing can handle some absolute studs. So let's keep fishing, see if we can get a few more. I got one. I just got smoked. Got one. No. Dude, yeah, I don't like this. I can't hook set with this. This is why I don't fish spinning. You get on there and fish right in front of the docks. I got one. Oh, my finger's caught in the reel. All right, ready? Oh my. What'd you do? What do you mean it broke? What's happening over here?
My reel's broke. It's just bent straight in.
Oh my gosh. Well, looks like I'm not fishing with the cheap one, and George might not fish with it either. It's broken right now. I don't even know what to say.
There's not much to say.
Well, we're still gonna try and catch a few more fish, but it's getting dark. We need to catch a few more, and yeah. All right, so I decided to swap up the jig because we already caught a nice one. We need some numbers. We're gonna throw the 5-inch lunker log on a little wacky hook, and we're gonna go from there and see if we can get a few more fish. I definitely want to. It's nice to catch a big one, but you know, it's also nice to add some numbers to that. So I'm gonna try and pull the little guys off with the little Senko. All right, we're heading to pond number 2. We're down a spinning rod. I think what we're gonna do is I'm gonna catch one, then I'm gonna hand it off to George. He's gonna catch one and we'll swap. All right, pond number 2. We have our little wacky rig right there. So we're gonna throw and hope that the fish are eating. We've only caught 1 fish. It's been a nice fish, but we want to get a few more numbers and really put this expensive one to the test since we're down a cheap one. So let's go ahead, let's catch some fish. All right, let's see what pond number 2 has for us. Let's see if we can get on a few fish in here. Hopefully we will. We got a wacky rig, which should work. It's pretty subtle. Should get bit pretty much instantly. Guess we're about to have to find out.
All right, so this is why you never get cheap stuff, because if you want it to last a long time, you don't want something that's gonna do that and bend. That's actually, let me tighten this thing down so it doesn't, so you don't blame on it. So it's supposed to be more like there. Now it's basically rubbing that, so you can't bend it back either. It's just done. Expensive stuff. We don't need that thing anymore.
Walk down there to that piece of grass, you think?
Nah, watch this. I can take one cast.
Oh, I have one. Wow.
Okay.
We were literally talking about changing spots, and there's a fish right there. All right, well, that works. That's cool. All right, George, you ready to catch one? I think we're gonna have a player. There we go, on the old wacky rig, little lunker log, and the Gold Series spinning hook. Tanks, baby, tanks.
Spinning hook. Wacky hook, dummy.
All right, well, fish number 2, we're finally on him. Let's get him back. I'm gonna hand George the expensive one, get his fill for it, let him get on a fish, and yeah, let's go. See you, buddy. And he's off.
All right, so Logan handed me over the gold reel, the nice expensive one. It's definitely better than the cheap one because the cheap one isn't even fishable anymore.
So what we're doing in the second pond is there's this like grass patch on the shore, like the bank line, and these fish just hang in it because it's shallow. They're chasing bait in there, and we're just tossing the wacky rig in there, waiting for a bite. And yeah, caught one first cast, I think. So they're definitely eating the wacky in this pond, so that's a good thing. Trying to get George on his first fish of the day. Shouldn't take long, honestly, but yeah, I think pond number 2 is gonna be an absolute player. Doesn't really provide as many big fish, but there's a lot in here, and that's what we need. All right, what are your first impressions of the expensive reel?
The drag on it, I noticed that. It's just so smooth.
Yeah, it does feel really good.
Yeah, it's just the noise on it too.
Feel better or worse than the cheap?
Definitely better because the cheap, sitting over there on the grass, not even on a rod anymore because this handle, you notice how yours is just so nice and not like that.
Not crooked.
Yeah, it's just...
So, cheap versus expensive, which one you taking?
I've already said it like 4 times, expensive.
What happened?
I think the line just snapped.
Oh, I yoinked it off. All right, so George has gotten a little feel for the expensive one. He snapped off on it, but we're gonna try and catch a few more. I mean, the sun is going down right now, and I've been fishing with this thing for a while. I don't really do spinning setups, but this one actually makes me want to fish spinning setups just because it's super, super nice. And you know, I think the expensive one definitely takes the dove because, you know, kind of by default because the cheap one's in half over there. But you know, it's all good. It's all good. We're still catching fish. We still have one intact. We're gonna see if we can get on a few more. Yeah, this is definitely the spot. Basically what we're doing is we're throwing this lunker log right on the grass, and we're waiting for these fish to come out of it and actually eat it. It's probably worth the money if you're really, really invested in a fishing. Otherwise, you know, it might go cheap. It's just all personal preference. And yeah, I definitely like the expensive one better, even though I didn't really get to fish the cheap one. But it is what it is. We're gonna see if we can catch a few more fish, and hopefully we can. I can't believe that fish didn't eat it. He literally swirled on it. Okay, there we go. This is the cast right here. It's definitely a fatty waiting for this. Oh, he's got it. We're on. We're on. We're on. We're on. Heck yeah. There we go. There's a fish. Get up here, little buddy. Zoom. Ah, on the old Senko right there. These fish are, oh, combo down. These fish are, they're nothing crazy, but they're pretty aggressive. That fish was running with this thing. We got the Guggen Gold. Oh my gosh, this fish really got it. And on the expensive setup, let's get him back. We're running out daylight. I'm gonna try and get George on a fish here, but we got another one. See you, bud. Appreciate you. All right, so we've been fishing for a few hours now. We caught one really good fish. The fishing kind of slowed down. We came to this pond, threw on something a little bit more, you know, just it pretty much works. So we're definitely catching fish now, but earlier it did slow down. We did catch a nice one though, but you know, I definitely think that the expensive one just has to take the dub, wouldn't you say?
I think I got one. If I lose another fish today, I'm never fishing again.
George, it's been a rough day, isn't it?
The past week of me fishing has been rough.
I have those weeks too. We both have struggled together.
It's been 2 weeks. I'm fishing a $550 combo. I got one. That's a nice one.
Oh my gosh. Bro, the rod didn't even like, okay, okay. I was like, whoa, that was big, but no, it slowed down. Heck yeah, there we go. Talking about not catching fish.
This rod makes this fish feel so much bigger.
I know, it's so much more fun, isn't it?
Yeah. Dude, this honestly fights just so good.
Come on, little guy. Hey, that's bigger than mine. I got you, I got you, I got you. Please don't hook me, fish. Oh no, he's...
Why is that?
See here? They definitely like the wacky worm. I mean, the expensive combo is just, it's been putting in the work. I'm about to pass out, not even gonna lie. There's a fish. I'm on.
Are you actually?
Oh my gosh, he
No
spit it.
way.
He was literally a micro. I'm not kidding. He was like that big, but hey man, we definitely found what is the best thing to throw out here for sure. And they're going crazy out here right now as the sun's going down. I'm sure you guys are experiencing daylight savings times too. I absolutely hate it. Gives me no time to fish. And you know, the fishing always heats up as the sun's going down, but we got them. Yeah, I definitely think the expensive one took home the dub. And you know, kind of self-explanatory, but you know, caught fish, caught nice ones. It held up good, it looks good, it feels good. You know, you get what you pay for. But then again, any setup is really good, and it's all the personal preference. And yeah, but if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and a comment. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.